You thought this video was going to be a Disney rant? Well, you're sort of right, but I'm also going to be talking about other parks in this video. But as for Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, I personally believe these to be the most worthless and least worth visiting out of the 4 Disney parks in Florida for a variety of reasons that I'll explain throughout this video. So let's get started. So starting off with Animal Kingdom. Now in my opinion, Animal Kingdom has some of the best theming and landscaping period at a Disney park. And Animal Kingdom does have a lot of redeeming qualities. Like Disney's ability to blend Avatar into the world of Animal Kingdom is definitely a feat in of itself and is definitely incredible, to be honest. Like I'm actually surprised how well Pandora integrated into Animal Kingdom. Disney actually did a great job at that. But in my opinion, despite all of that good about Animal Kingdom and all the animal experiences being great, there's definitely some major issues with Animal Kingdom also. The main issue is there's really not a lot of attractions. I mean, your main attraction here is Expedition Everest, which I mean, it's a ton of fun, just a massive journey up and through the mountain, and seeing that Yeti animatronic is definitely a feat in of itself. And this ride is definitely a great family coaster, but like I just said, it's just a family coaster. And to me, sure, it's one of those rides that like you'll definitely want to get back in line for, and it's easily the park's headlining attraction, but I feel like this park needs another headlining attraction. Like, for example, if Islands of Adventure, for instance, just had Hagrid's motorbike adventure, I wouldn't really be as interested in going back there as much if it just had Hagrid's versus it having Hagrid's and Velocicoaster. Now, that isn't the best analogy because Velocicoaster is a high thrill ride that Disney will never invest in, and they shouldn't invest in. But I'm just saying, I feel like Animal Kingdom needs that other standout must-do attraction to really make Animal Kingdom great. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a roller coaster, but like I mentioned before, something like Hagrid's would actually be a really nice fit here at Animal Kingdom. And even theme it to Indiana Jones. I don't care. That has so much potential. I doubt Disney will ever do it, but something like Hagrid's theme to Indiana Jones for Animal Kingdom in the future would actually be a great fit and is exactly what the park needs. Now, when talking about Animal Kingdom's other attractions, their other major attraction, in my opinion, is Kilimanjaro Safari. And the thing is with this is a massive safari tour, but the problem with this attraction, yes, it is unique to Animal Kingdom, as you can't find it at any other Disney park, but you can get very similar experiences all across the United States. So, like, I don't really consider this that unique, especially when, sure, it's not necessarily as good, but you can see a majority of the same animals for a solid $50 cheaper just an hour south at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And to compare the two parks even more, Busch Gardens, Tampa also has, combined with the animals, you have a ton of excellent thrill rides. And I know Disney is not for the thrill seekers, but it'd be definitely nice if they did invest in rides that like the whole family can enjoy and that just everybody can have a fun time with. Like, for example, something like a Hagrid or like a Cheetah Hunt or something like that. That's not fully a family coaster, but is definitely more thrilling than your average family coaster. So, in my opinion, the one thing that Animal Kingdom really needs is a big standout roller coaster or dark ride. Either or would be a great fit for Animal Kingdom. So moving on to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, Hollywood Studios faces a lot of the same issues as Animal Kingdom, as the fact that Hollywood Studios has even less major attractions than Animal Kingdom does, as you really only have 4 major attractions. That being Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, Rise of the Resistance, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Now, you could make an argument that Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is also a major attraction, but in my opinion, it's just one of the many other Disney motion simulators, so that's why I didn't include it. But other than that, as for Rock and Roller Coaster, this is a ride that's been featured throughout the Disney chain, as it can be found also at Disneyland Paris, which I know that's in Europe, but still, it's nothing really that unique. And then also when it comes to Tower of Terror, same story here. Now, the Hollywood Studios offering is a bit different than the other versions, as you have 2 elevator shafts, only lap belts, and some other small changes like this is fully themed to the Twilight Zone. But other than that, it's still a cloned attraction. Sure, it was the original, but still, like, you can experience a very similar ride at other Disney parks. And the same thing goes for Rise of the Resistance, as this is literally the exact same ride at Disneyland. And same thing with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Now, but I will give Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, dang, I can't say that, credit where credit is due. Because even though it's themed off of arguably the most popular and well-known IP in the world, still, at least it makes sense within the Hollywood Studios theme of movie making, because it's based off of what, like 1930s, 1940s animation. So that makes sense. But the bigger issue with Disney's Hollywood Studios is just the fact that this has been another Disney IP dumping ground. Like, for example, Toy Story Land. Honestly, Toy Story Land is a disgrace to all of Disney. Toy Story Land is just, to me, it feels like Six Flags theming at a Disney park. And it's kind of supposed to be that way because, like, everything's supposed to feel like a toy, but still, for me, it just ain't it cheap. And especially with Slinky Dog Dash, that ride is literally just a kiddie coaster and should not be considered a major attraction for Disney's Hollywood Studios in any regard. And also with Galaxy's Edge, now I personally haven't experienced Galaxy's Edge as I visited Hollywood Studios literally a couple months before it opened, but from what I've heard, Galaxy's Edge was trying to be Disney's answer to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And personally, I don't give a crap about either Star Wars or Harry Potter, and I've heard Galaxy's Edge is just doesn't really achieve that in being like a super immersive Star Wars land. But if I ever do come back to Hollywood Studios, my opinion might change on that. Who knows? But I just feel like with Disney's Hollywood Studios, it just needs more cohesion. Or just a total rebrand. Because if Disney wants it to be an IP dumping ground where they just make lands themed to their own movies, then do that. But like kind of lessen the filmmaking aspect of the park and go all in on the movie based lands. Like for example with Islands of Adventure. That park was entirely built around bringing the books to life. That's why all of the lands are based off of IPs. At that park it makes sense. But with Disney's Hollywood Studios, because it was originally planned as like a competitor to Universal Studios and be focused more on filmmaking, they've just stripped away all those filmmaking stuff, and I really feel like this park would be a bit better if either one, they brought back the filmmaking aspects of the park, or if they just full send it on the idea of just making it a park based off of Disney IPs. Either way is where Disney's Hollywood Studios should go. Then also throw in some actually quality dark rides that don't feel like anything else at the Disney resort, and maybe another family coaster too. That would really round out Disney's Hollywood Studios in my opinion. So if you want to see how Disney's Hollywood Studios compares to Universal Studios Florida, check out the video in the end screen, and peace.